we have task 14, and this will be another important task from the project management perspective because many of the students or many of the learners make mistakes here. Governance is about setting the directions, governance is about setting the authorities, and you will propose and you will agree with the sponsors and key stakeholders that what will be their governance level, what will be the change control board level. All these things will be actually done during the planning stage. And surely it will be updated later on, but we have to define the proper model. Who can approve what type of change? Who can approve what type of actions? Who can approve what amount of cost? Who can approve what type of changes? These are the part of change control system when you are establishing. So similarly, when we have project charter, where we have the authority for the stakeholders, initial list of stakeholders, then we prepare the stakeholder register where we have their authorities, influence defined. And based upon that, we prepare the ground rules and team charters and also the governance structure in the change management plan, who can do what. So you need to determine appropriate governance for a project. Governance doesn't mean that catch you with the neck. No, you need to control it, or you need to balance it that it should not be choking. Like for every smaller thing, you have to go back to the change control board or to the external people. And this waiting time will actually destroy your project because you are getting delayed and other people are not replying. And you should clearly define the escalation path and thresholds that if doesn't reply in 2 hours, contact this guy. If he doesn't reply or is on vacation or she's on vacation, so contact this guy. So it means we will be preparing our stakeholder engagement plan and communication management plan accordingly. So we can update the people and contact them accordingly. Now you have the structure. Let's go and read about the questions. Your organization uses a formal stage gate governance model. You are assigned to a small innovation project with high uncertainty and rapid experimentation need. What is the most appropriate governance approach? Eliminate stage gates. We cannot eliminate stage gates because they are asking for it. Replicate full organizational governance. We have learned during our trainings that we have to tailor it. So tailor answer is C, but I will not stop and I will not just select C and move to the next question because you might have a different answer. So read it carefully. Tailor governance structure to align with organizational standard while adjusting reviews regularly to project scale. Escalate governance structure decision to the sponsor. It could be the better answer also because we can ask a sponsor what you want because they will be telling us. But it will not be the only thing. A sponsor will not tell you about the internal things of your organization. So because it's all about both internal and external, so correct answer will be exactly C. I hope you got the point, what I just explained. Now let's go further. A team level conflict, and I told you, can you reach to sponsor directly for this thing? First answer this. Will you select an answer that escalate to sponsor for this? Never. At least not at the first attempt. But has not impacted. So minor delays are happening, but has not impacted critical path milestone. So you will not wait something to happen. Something you know now it's happening. So you need to manage it. The issue has been unresolved for 1 week, means things are going on and on and on. What should you do as PM first? Please try to read this part also, that what is your role, product owner, project manager, and where you are. Escalate immediately to a steering committee. Address within project governance structure before escalating. Document the issue and ignore until milestone impact occurs. Notify executive leadership preemptively, which will solve the problem. So exactly, address as per the defined governance structure before escalating. We need to solve the problem. We don't need to just make noise. Oh, this has happened. What to do? No, 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 no. You have to bring the options. You have to come up with those details. Very good. Let's go next. Your organization has strict compliance governance for financial systems. Every financial organization have a very strong compliance. Even compliance is majorly working in banking sector, health sector, insurance sector, education sector also, because it contains a lot of confidential data. You are managing a marketing microsite project with low regulatory impact. What governance approach is most appropriate? Apply full governance model to maintain consistency. Tailor governance based on project risk scale and regulatory exposure. Ignore governance or create entirely new governance independent of the organization. So you know what is your job. So your job here is exactly. Very good. Yes, B is the correct answer. Let's go next. A vendor repeatedly misses performance matrix defined in the SLA. The contract specifies performance penalties after 3 consecutive failures. 2 have already occurred. You are in critical situation. What should the PM do next? Escalate to executive sponsor immediately, invoke penalty clause preemptively, follow contract governance structure and monitor until threshold is met, terminate vendor to avoid future impact. Very confusing answer, and but there is only one correct answer. You cannot do this, right? You cannot do this. So remaining answer is yes, C. Here we have the word until, but this is the only option available here. Normally, I do not ask you to select these answers where you have these words until, because we don't want to wait. So we still have a try, but follow contract governance structure and monitor until threshold is met. This is not a very good answer, but this is the only option available. So you need to understand in the exam also. Sometimes you might not see that, okay, it fits, but from the available options, 3 are totally out of the league. So this is the only available option. So educated guesses. Next. Mid-project stakeholders complain that approval authority for scope changes is unclear, leading to inconsistent decisions, which means our governance is not working. What is the most appropriate corrective action? The only better answer here is exactly. It means you are bypassing everything and you cannot stop anything and you cannot do anything alone. You need someone on your back. Perfect. Next, a project level risk emerges that may impact multiple programs in the portfolio. What is the most appropriate governance response? Manage risk entirely within project boundaries, escalate risk through defined portfolio governance channel, increase project contingency reserves, notify only the project sponsor. Thank you very much for selecting this answer. There is a terminology for this that risk should be handled at its own appropriate level. I've explained you earlier also. Anyone of you remember the terminology? Risk should be handled at its own appropriate level. What we call that terminology? That we have to establish a framework, a governance structure, an authority. So this should be handled at its own level, called as integrated risk management. This should be handled at its own appropriate level. If it is above your level, escalate to the appropriate level. Don't try to play with it. Then, next question is, during governance planning, you must define escalation thresholds for cost variance. Which approach is most appropriate? Read it and answer it by yourself. So we know C and D are out of the league. We cannot go without defined threshold, and we cannot escalate everything. So if I read, so till here, everything is same, aligned with organizational risk tolerance. So cost variance limit and cost variance threshold. Question is about threshold. So it has to be A. Question always have the answer. Don't keep making the mistakes. Let's go next. An executive demands approval authority for all minor decisions to reduce risk. What is the most appropriate PM response? Agree to centralize all decisions under executive authority. Define governance structure with tiered decision authority aligned to impact thresholds. Refuse executive involvement. Escalate executive behavior to HR. I think one answer is quite reasonable here. We need the tiered decision authority. We cannot do all to all. We need to make the domains. We need to make the authorities okay accordingly. Very good. Let's go next. A cross-functional dependency threatens milestone completion in 3 weeks. Negotiations are ongoing but unresolved. What should the PM do first? Escalate immediately to steering committee. Continue negotiation without escalation. Assess escalation threshold criteria and escalate if predefined conditions are met. Delay milestone proactively. So we have to evaluate, analyze, review, assess. So yes, C is actually the correct answer. Very good. Let's go next. Your organization recently implemented enterprise project management governance standard. Your project started before these were introduced. What is the most appropriate action? Continue using original governance to avoid disruption. Transition fully to new governance. Evaluate impact and align project governance with a standard. Ignore new governance until project closure. What do you think is the correct answer here? When you are not selecting this, so surely it will not be the correct answer because both are ignoring. And you cannot do fully, so better to tailor it. So tailor is going to C. Yes, very good. Perfect. So that was the end of task 14, establish project governance structure.